The people are the only legitimate fountain of power, and it is from them that the constitutional charter under which the several branches of government hold their power is derived. James Madison.
Rightful liberty is unobstructed action according to our will, within limits drawn around us by the equal rights of others. I do not add within the limits of the law, because law is often but the tyrant's will, and always so when it violates the rights of the individual. Thomas Jefferson.
If the present Congress errs in too much talking, how can it be otherwise in a body to which the people send 150 lawyers, whose trade it is to question everything, yield nothing, and talk by the hour? Thomas Jefferson.
Firearms are second only to the Constitution in importance. They are the people's liberty's teeth. George Washington.
As long as our government is administered for the good of the people and is regulated by their will, as long as it secures to us the rights of persons and of property, liberty of conscience and of the press, it will be worth defending. Andrew Jackson.
The revolution was effected before the war commenced. The revolution was in the minds and hearts of the people, a change in their religious sentiments of their duties and obligations. This radical change in the principles, opinions, sentiments, and affections of the people was the real American Revolution. John Adams.
Remember, democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself. There never was a democracy yet that did not commit suicide. John Adams.
The people's government, made for the people, made by the people, and answerable to the people. Daniel Webster.
The basis of our political system is the right of the people to make and to alter their constitutions of government. George Washington.
Americans need never fear their government because of the advantage of being armed, which the Americans possess over the people of almost every other nation. Governor Morris.
The people are the government, administering it by their agents. They are the government, the sovereign power. Andrew Jackson.
Americans have the right and advantage of being armed, unlike the citizens of other countries whose governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. James Madison.
I always consider the settlement of America with reverence and wonder, as the opening of a grand scene and design and providence, for the illumination of the ignorant and the emancipation of the slavish part of mankind all over the earth. John Adams.
If we do not lay out ourselves in the service of mankind, whom should we serve? John Adams.
A well-regulated militia, composed of the body of the people, trained in arms, is the best, most natural defense of a free country. James Madison.
The strongest reason for the people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is, as a last resort, to protect themselves against tyranny in government. Thomas Jefferson.
The government of the absolute majority, instead of the government of the people, is but the government of the strongest interest, and when not efficiently checked, it is the most tyrannical and oppressive that can be devised. John C. Calhoun.
In all our associations, in all our agreements, let us never lose sight of this fundamental maxim, that all power was originally lodged in, and consequently is derived from, the people. George Mason.
The great constitutional corrective in the hands of the people against usurpation of power or corruption by their agents is the right of suffrage, and this, when used with calmness and deliberation, will prove strong enough. Andrew Jackson.
A Bill of Rights is what the people are entitled to against every government on earth, general or particular, and what no just government should refuse or rest on inference. Thomas Jefferson.
There is danger from all men. The only maxim of a free government ought to be to trust no man living with power to endanger the public liberty. John Adams.
The Constitution preserves the advantage of being armed, which Americans possess over the people of almost every other nation, where the governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. James Madison.
Our government is founded upon the intelligence of the people. I, for one, do not despair of the Republic. I have great confidence in the virtue of the great majority of the people, and I cannot fear the result. Andrew Jackson.
The Constitution vests the power of declaring war in Congress. Therefore, No offensive expedition of importance can be undertaken until after they shall have deliberated upon the subject and authorized such a measure. George Washington.
Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigue of supporting it. Thomas Paine.
It will be of little avail to the people that the laws are made by men of their own choice, if the laws be so voluminous that they cannot be read, or so incoherent that they cannot be understood. James Madison.
I predict future happiness for Americans if they can prevent the government from wasting the labors of the people under the pretense of taking care of them. Thomas Jefferson.
If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter. George Washington.
The planter, the farmer, the mechanic, and the laborer form the great body of the people of the United States. They are the bone and sinew of the country, men who love liberty and desire nothing but equal rights and equal laws. Andrew Jackson.
I know of no safe depository of the ultimate powers of the society but the people themselves, and if we think them not enlightened enough to exercise their control with a wholesome discretion, the remedy is not to take it from them but to inform their discretion. Thomas Jefferson.
The Constitution of the United States was made not merely for the generation that then existed, but for posterity, unlimited, undefined, endless, perpetual posterity. Henry Clay.
Every government degenerates when trusted to the rulers of the people alone. The people themselves are its only safe depositories. Thomas Jefferson.
When the people fear their government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. Thomas Jefferson.
Liberty is to the collective body what health is to every individual body. Without health, no pleasure can be tasted by man. Without liberty, no happiness can be enjoyed by society. Thomas Jefferson.